guard Derrick Rose, who is out with a sprained right ankle. Rose surprised many of his coaches when he actually came out onto the floor pregame to warm up. Two of the coaches that I talked to said that they were shocked because they thought that there was no way that he was going to play tonight. I asked Derrick how the right ankle felt, and he said there was still some.
From Baron Davis.
Knicks have scored on their last 9 possessions. Davis is out. J.R. Smith in for the Knicks. And Ronnie Brewer is coming for Chicago to replace Rip Hamilton. And a Bulls turnover gives it to New York.
And again, they're just too loose with the ball. That's the second time you just played the Knicks. They forced 20 turnovers. They're stripping it. You've got to protect it and get your space.
Andrew Fields got that quick first step on Noah, and one good recognition by Fields to use his quickness, and that's 10 straight trips the Knicks have scored field goals.
Checking in for Chicago, number 22.
Well, just a good pass. Landry Fields attacks Noah, and again, this is a tough matchup. They've got a center guarding a 3 because they want Dang guarding Anthony.
It's down the 3-point play, and it's a 6-point Knick lead. Jeff, you saw Anthony have the great game against the Bulls on Sunday at the Garden. This is a Chicago team that's right at the top of the league with Philadelphia in points allowed per game. Terrific defense. Any concern that you see watching them the last 5 quarters on the defensive end?
Well, I think they have some very tough matchups when it comes to the Knicks and Anthony. The way they have to cross-match, I think it just takes you out of your normal defensive rotations and discipline, and it gets you scrambling.
Jimmy Butler from Marquette checks in earlier than he has in most games. The rookie out of Marquette gets Joakim Noah here.
And the reason, I believe, is that they're moving Dang to the 4 to match up with the Knicks.
It's now 2 here on Shumpert. Cross-matching doesn't seem like it's that difficult, but you're talking not just in picking up your guy, but then rotations as well after a missed shot, where it becomes particularly hard.
Exactly. Think about it. Noah's guarding on the perimeter against Landry Fields, so it's a longer rotation on help. It's a different rotation. Plus, in transition, it's so hard against the speed of a Knick team that has Anthony at the 4 to get matched up to begin with, even if you were in normal matchups, let alone in the cross match.
Baron Davis comes back in as Shumpert picks up that second foul. Watson, big contact on the drive inside, but Gibson comes in and finishes with the dunk. Jared Jeffries couldn't believe that a foul wasn't called.
And I like that no call. The pass is already delivered. Play on.
Jeffries, Carmelo Anthony, J.R. Smith, Fields, and Davis. So a small group out there for the Knicks as Anthony continues to stay red hot. 11 points on 5 of 6 from the field.
And look for the next trip. Thibodeau just said Dang is going to guard Landry Fields, and he's going to put Jimmy Butler on Carmelo Anthony.
Final 2 minutes of the first quarter. Brewer out of the corner finds Dang for 3. Luelo's shooting percentage is way down because of his wrist injury. Bulls keep it with a new shot. Moment ago, Mike Woodson wired.
It's all about making shots. You got to understand that, but you got to take good shots. We got to make sure we rebound, block out, and get the ball. Then we go. We can, as soon as we get stopped, they can't beat us down the floor.
And they've made 11 of their last 12. Tom Thibodeau wanted a foul on the Watson shot. Nothing there, and Butler does pick up Anthony like you thought, Jeff. And that time a turnover as Davis tried to work with Jeffries. And Jared shows back for his second game, coming off a knee injury. Rookie Butler missed it. Look at Brewer. He hustled, took it away from J.R. Smith. But Watson turns it over. Here's Melo ahead with Butler chasing. A lead for Smith or Jeffries, and neither one decided. So Melo says, I got it. But he doesn't. And Brewer does. Dang curling towards the lane. And 1.2 left on the shot clock.
Check again for the Bulls, number 15, John Lucas.
What I mean by cross matches, Carmelo Anthony is guarding Carlos Boozer defensively. But now in transition, Boozer's trying to find Landry Fields. Deng is trying to find Carmelo Anthony. What happens? No one guards no one. And you have no idea what just happened. But believe me, Carmelo Anthony made a three.
Yes, we do. Fully understand.
Adjustments did you make?
Well, I mean, we had good looks. I thought Tyson had a couple of buckets that he could have scored right at the rim, and he threw back out for long shots. Had good shots, didn't make them. Called a timeout, and we regrouped. But I don't like how we finished the quarter. I mean, we're up 6 points and got a chance to probably go up 10, and we don't finish it out.
What are you going to tell the guys in the huddle right now? Praise them for being ahead, or get on them for closing out the
position.
quarter?
Being up on the road is great, especially against this team. So I'm not too mad.
Thanks for your time, Mike.
Well, thank you, Lisa. That's another Bulls turnover to start this quarter. That's 6, Jeff, here by Chicago. And Steve Novak, who missed all 4 of his threes on Sunday, missed that one as we start the second with the Knicks leading by 3.
I am so impressed with the effort level of the Knicks defensively. They are absolutely swarming.
Lucas finds Brewer inside, and Ronnie puts it off the glass. Jeff, it's every pass. I know assistant coaches often chart deflections. Knicks have a lot of deflections last game and this first quarter.
Yeah, they're just quick and strong. And give J.R. Smith credit. Never been known as a defender, but I found this year watching him since he came back from China, playing much harder defensively.
Down heavy contact. Ronnie Brewer making sure that our pen man's okay. Steve Angel over there.
Steve took one on the chop right there.
Steve holding the shot, still shooting to make sure that he's all set.
That's a
Make sure
flop,
Steve's
Steve.
okay.
Get up. You don't need to, like, beg for attention.
It's just brutal. The man's there taking hard contact, getting back in the game. Shot clock running down. Shot clock violation on Tony Douglas. The man staying in position, working for the viewers at home.
I understand that, but all right, so he gets hit here. Pretty good contact.
That's a hard hit.
All
Over
right.
the camera. Look at him. Look at that.
With
Bounced.
help. With help, though.
That guy's not doing anything.
Bounce up,
That
Steve.
guy's not doing anything.
Come on.
That's like the coach of the gymnastics who's waiting there when the gymnast finishes, just to brace them in case they're not balanced. Steve did all the work.
I like Ronnie Brewer's energy level to start this game.
Maris Sheik lost that as he's come in, the second unit of the Bulls. A Sheik, Taj Gibson, John Lucas III, Ronnie Brewer, and Kyle Korver checking in.
And Thibodeau taking Deng out to match up Anthony's rest with his rest.
Spin by Lucas. He misfires. We're here when he lit up Miami, coming off the bench, and the first night that Derrick Rose missed with that groin injury. After that great run where the Knicks scored on 10 of 11 possessions with field goals, it's 4 scoreless minutes for the Knicks. Landry Fields couldn't change that. Jeffrey's tied up. He took it out of bounds. Here is Tom Thibodeau, Coach of the Year. Wired.
Defensively, in transition, we got to be sprinting back. Everyone point, everyone talk. Make sure we're matched up. Keep our defense tight down there.
Bobby's done in his 2 years here. I thought last year when he won Coach of the Year and they had the best record in the league after being 500 the year before.
Right.
I didn't think you could do it better. I think with all the injuries this year, he's done even a better job this year. To me, he or Greg Popovich have to be Coach of the Year.
Brewer knocks down the shot. And the Bulls back on top, 43-14. This Chicago record in playing without Derrick Rose almost 40% of the season as it stands going forward. And that 43-14, you see the with and without Rose record, it would translate to the same winning percentage as last year's best record in the NBA. And this group's a big reason why. This very strong second unit as Brewer misses, back come the Knicks. See if the Knicks can find some offense. Very limited without Carmelo Anthony. It'll be called a kick. Maybe Nick ball side out of bounds out of this timeout. Under 9, final meeting of the season. The regular season, that is, with the Bulls and the Knicks.
It's a known fact. Watching sports is better with food. Basketball, football, even tennis is.
Bulls by 1. Let's talk about that Eastern playoff race. Really, like the old NBA, 3 to make 2. 3 teams battling for the final 2 spots. Sixers a half game up because of that win. They play their last 5 on the road. There you see the Knicks, who play the Bucks tomorrow night on ESPN with key NBA countdown, 7:30 Eastern, and the tip at 8 Eastern. As Tony Douglas misses, and the Knicks have gone scoreless. 5.5 minutes. Lucas, who brings very much of a scoring mentality to his reserve point guard role. Missed the 3 and the rebound by Jeffries. Jeff, how do you handicap the last couple of weeks here in the East for those 2 spots?
Well, obviously, these are big 2 games for the Knicks. If they win these 2, they'll be in. Milwaukee has got to win tomorrow to not only put a loss on the Knicks, but to give them the tiebreaker and get over to Philadelphia. Yeah, Philly has so many games on the road, but they're not against great teams in many cases. So I think they played hard all year. I think what happened was everybody's expectations got skewed because of their heavy road home schedule early, and so the record was better than it probably should have been for their level of talent.
Shot clock running down on J.R. Smith. Broke the scoring crowd a moment ago, and the Knicks offense has been poor without Carmelo Anthony. Mike Woodson sees that too, and he says, hey, Melo, get back in here. Lucas trapped on the sideline, got the timeout first. So it's 7.5, the Bulls. Moment on Easter Sunday as he carried the Knicks and hit the big shots.
Anthony for 3. Bang! The game is tied. Anthony for 3. Puts it in. Knicks by 1.
Mike Green with those great calls. The Garden electric for the 43. Most scored by a Knicks since Jamal Crawford back in 2008. And the most by an opponent against the Tom Thibodeau coached Bulls, albeit in overtime. 43 points as Melo got the Knicks back for a very important home win. And the Knicks at 2 games over 500. That's their season high. They were 2 games over after their 6-4 start. Shot clock at 3, and the foul's going to be called on Douglas to bring Lucas to the line.
Second time John Lucas has gotten Tony Douglas to bite on a shot fake. The first time he spun out along the baseline and got a good look at a 17-footer. That time he drew the contact and earned his way to the free throw line.
Jeff, you mentioned before John Lucas, the son of the former #1 overall pick, former NBA player and coach. And as you're very familiar with, because you were there, Tom Thibodeau's familiarity with John from the Houston days. One of the reasons he was able to call him and get him in here pretty quickly as this season was going on, and he's really been a great savior as the 3rd point, becoming the 2nd point guard with all these games Rose has missed.
Tom Thibodeau worked for John Lucas back in Philly, and he's known Little John since he was a kid and understood that while he may be small and, you know, maybe he doesn't handle to his left, he's got a great skill of scoring. He's got a great heart and enthusiasm for the game, and you know he will never be outworked. And that's a good thing to have in your 3rd point guard, where you can always count on him.
It's job by Anthony. Yet Chandler at the basket, but Omer Sheik sends it back. Corver transition 3. Got them all.